Today I thought that we would do a pumpkin tress leches cake. Of course, I tried the eggnog one in the winter last year for Christmas to do a bake-off for work, and I won that. But now I'm going to do a pumpkin tress leches cake, and then of course take that to work as a treat just to throw in the staff lounge and see what people think about this one. Alright, I'm going to start with the tres leches mixture that's going to go inside of the actual cake. I have heavy whipping cream, 1 can of evaporated milk, and then 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Alright, 2/3 of the heavy whipping cream. Alright, I'm going to let this sit because I just know that that's already done. Alright, we're going to move into the main part where you'll need flour, powder, baking powder, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, 4 large eggs at room temperature, which they are, you know, trying to get there. 1 cup of sugar, and then 1 cup of brown sugar. If you do half and half, it gives extra flavor. So I'm going to do half a cup of white, half a cup of brown sugar. And then there's also 3/4 cup of the pumpkin puree from the can, which I have right here. And then I'm just going to be adding in a little bit of oil and the vanilla extract. Alright, so I pulled out my B-tree mixer because that is what I'm going to be mixing the main stuff in. As far as the dry ingredients, I'm going to be putting in 1 2/3 cups of flour, adding in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Alright, so I'm adding in half a teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. So as you guys can see, this is what the mixture looks like before we mix everything up. I told y'all I'm doing the trick. I'm doing half white sugar and half of the brown sugar. I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, I'm adding in 3/4 cup of the pumpkin puree. You can either use homemade or canned. I'm using canned. Alright, I'm adding in half a cup of oil, and I finally added in the 4 eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tool back in that I'm going to use to mix all of this up. So all I have to do is take this mixture and put it into a pan, and I'm simply just baking it for about 25 minutes, and then when it cools off I can poke the holes, add in the other mixture which I need to mix up as well. Now for the topping, I'm just simply using what I got. Okay, I'm gonna mix up some of this caramel whip topping along with some heavy whipping cream, and then add in some pumpkin spice to it and kind of go from there, because it sounds good to go together. And then I'll just sprinkle some pumpkin spice on top of that, if you know, like if it's not too much, and that's really gonna be it. But I think this is gonna turn out really good, so let's go ahead and bake it. First off, y'all, that batter smells so good. It smells just like I don't even know what to describe it as, but Definitely smells good. All right, y'all, so it's the next day. I bought the pumpkin tres leches cake with me to work. And out of 3 coworkers already, they were like, this is bomb. It's amazing. It's nice and moist, blah, 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 blah. I'm about ready to send out a message for other people to come and grab some because I don't want to take this back home. But also, I do probably want to take the other half home. I don't know how it's going to work. That way I can freeze some for my mom and her husband, and they can try some because she's really interested in tres leches cake. But anyways, I hope that y'all have enjoyed the video. If you have, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider making it yourself and also letting me know what type of tres leches cake I should try for the winter, Christmas, holiday.